Um, so yeah, I wanted to see exactly how it would maintain, and it maintains pretty good, actually. If I would have shaved this in a different orientation, the grain, and made that taper, maybe instead of wide this way, made it wide this way, I could have potentially made something else. Any ideas? I'm not going to spoil it. There's so many options with this stuff. I see so many things. If you see some of my recent posts, I guess I'm getting a little bit more specific as to what the purpose of this channel is. It's just to inspire. I see so many people throwing things away. I work with antiques, restoration, repair. At first, when I began this trade, I just thought that people were stupid and they didn't know how to fix their own stuff. And then after it kept happening, I mean, I kept seeing this. I was like, people aren't stupid. They just don't care, or they just don't see it. Nobody taught them how to see things from a different angle, how to think outside the box. I mean, everybody hears that phrase, think outside the box, but even that phrase is stuck inside the box. Doesn't really teach you. And I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I do see a lot of people out there with misguided ideas. You have to be creative. I took a piece of scrap wood, which, go check it out. It's actually, it looks like a piece of trash. I mean, other than the wood being really cool and very beautiful, you'd see it in like a bin of a wood shop everywhere, like just these little cutoffs. What are you gonna do with it, right? That's what people think. It's just trash or firewood. When I see people doing that all the time, I've seen people do that all the time my whole life with a wider range of things, from objects to people. I always look for another purpose, and I've trained my brain to see those potentialities. So people aren't stupid. Maybe they just needed just a boost. Pardon me while I play. When you see something, think about repurposing it. But then that first thing you think about, just throw it away. Like don't think about the surface. Like that comb I made, that little piece of purple heartwood. Honestly, and a subscriber said the same thing. I could have just made some knife skills out of that, and it would have been consistent with like the flow of my channel. Or I could have made a crucifix, like another subscriber said, because I get so philosophical, theological even sometimes, with my content. I could have done that. And honestly, those did come to mind, because that particular purple heart I have made knife skills for. It's a cutoff. And I did make a crucifix out of that I keep in my home. Again, just meditation. So I thought of that. I was like, I can do that again, or I can just think deeper. And I saw the way it looked, and it kind of reminded me of a comb. And I was like, well, how would I do that? Then it's scraps. So I just dug in the bottom of my tool bag, and I looked for something that I could just jimmy rig. And I found an old hacksaw blade without a handle. It was not too old. It was like used once, and I just had it at the bottom of the tool bag. And I had my buck 55. So I just sat there with my bare hand and slowly went. I was like, well, I don't even know if this thing is going to cut. It's for metal. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to, and it was smooth. It was a little slower, but it cuts. And for Purple Heart being so dense, it worked really well. So I was able to just kind of get that straight across. I used I guess I could show you this like as an example. So when I was cutting the teeth, I took the hacksaw blade and perpendicular, I kind of just went over it to cut the teeth. And then eventually I kind of took the hacksaw blade and I went at an angle and I just went to kind of get these tapered. And then eventually I was able to use those teeth, since they were so fine on the hacksaw blade. If I were to just like reorient the angle of my approach, instead of getting a straight cut, I could kind of round out that cavity and create like almost a valley. And that's something I didn't know I could do before with a damn hacksaw blade. I just needed the, I guess, inquisitiveness and the desire to not throw something away and to see how I could make it work. And I turned a piece of trash that you would find in any workshop into a tool, a hygienic tool, a comb. Like that's so human. It's like a pocket knife. A comb is something that you'll find in archaeological sites and digs everywhere. So how more human is that? So that piece wasn't trash at all. It's just most people can't see what it can be. And if they do try to change it into something, repurpose it, it's always on the surface level and it ends up in the trash in about a year anyway. That's what I see from experience. And that's kind of what I'm clashing with in life. I have this craftsman's philosophy that I've kind of accumulated and built upon over the years. Pardon me while I play and teach too, apparently. Not arrogant. I just kind of I'm just going to talk about my shit. That's all. It is what it is, people. Love you. Live long and prosper.